Welcome back to Star Ocean Sessions, where I've been playing through and creating loads of videos for the entire series. Today we are up to Star Ocean 4 The Last Hope, not to be confused with Episode 4 A New Hope, you know, Star Warsy stuff. The Last Hope was originally released on the Xbox 360 in 2009, then ported over to the PS3 a year later. This PS3 version is considered the better of the two versions, mainly due to it not requiring you to constantly change discs. Most recently, in 2017, a 4K remaster was released on the PS4 and PC, and this is definitely the prettiest way to experience the game. Now, if you saw my Star Ocean 3 review, you may have noticed I wasn't really a fan. Many of the problems that I had with this game have been addressed this time around, making it a much less frustrating experience. But is The Last Hope the best in the series? Well, it does some things better than others, but clearly falls short in other important areas. Before we get into the review, if you're a Star Ocean fan or a fan of RPGs in general, make sure you sub for loads more RPG and Star Ocean content and hit that like button if you liked the review. Alright, let's get into it. Star Ocean 4 follows the journey of Edge and Raimi, two members of the Space Reconnaissance Force, or SRF. Their mission is to embark on humanity's first interstellar travel to discover new hospitable worlds and hopefully a new home for humans, since they kinda screwed up the first one. While exploring the planet of Eos, shit goes down, leading Edge to take command of the spaceship the Calnus to lead further planet exploration. Chronologically, Star Ocean 4 takes place before any of the other games. While there isn't a requirement to have played them all, there is a bunch of references that may make it worthwhile, most notably the ability to explore the Star Ocean 1 planet Rogue in all its 3D glory. Where the first three games took place predominantly on a single planet, Star Ocean 4 provides a lot of planets to explore, and I really liked this. It is also completely sci-fi from start to finish, as opposed to the others, which spent a large chunk of time on underdeveloped planets. I thought the story started off really strong, a young, inexperienced soldier put into a position of power. Sure, we've seen this before, but in the context of commanding a ship to explore planets, I'm all for it. Unfortunately, my enthusiasm for this story didn't last too long, and it soon became more of a chore to get through for more reasons than one. Firstly, there are some long cutscenes, and I found myself scrolling through social media more times than one. This is mainly due to the lackluster dialogue, which did not deliver the narrative nearly as well as it could have. There are also some sections of text-based lore dumps, forcing you to read pages of text to understand what the hell is going on. But this isn't even as bad as some of the cast members. They are all incredibly tropey, and the attempt to distract us from this fact with frequent fan service really didn't work on me. I am immune to your lady parts, Miria. Some characters are tolerable, but others just made me want to facepalm myself, such as when one of the main characters becomes overly emo for a decent chunk of the story. But if you've actually played Star Ocean 4, you'll know what's coming next. Limmel. What is a Limmel, you ask? A Limmel is a doll-like creature born from the tears of dragons, trying to fit in with the human race. Limmel also has an obsession with Special K and asks for this tasty cereal about 1,000,000 times through the game.
I'm going, Grandpa. Hey?
Here's the kicker. I was lying. Limmel is actually a living, breathing child with magical abilities that tags along with the party.
I understand, Kay.
If her insanely annoying dialogue and lack of facial expressions weren't bad enough, they decided to match her with the worst voice direction imaginable.
Baze, you big dummy. Fine, I'll sleep alone, Kay.
My wife walked in while Limmel was talking once, and I had to quickly switch over to My Little Pony to avoid embarrassment. Fortunately, we're still married, but it was a close call. But Limmel isn't the only one. You also have Sarah, where just about every word that comes out of her mouth is made to make her look stupid. This is a real shame because there is actually a fairly strong cast of voice actors here, including industry veterans Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey. More consistent voice acting and lip syncing and better dialogue would have made this storytelling a hell of a lot more enjoyable.
He's my little doggy. Kay?
Traveling from planet to planet and exploring the lands was one of my favorite things about Star Ocean 4. The environments and character models do look decent enough, even if these characters do look like dolls half the time. Exploration is done through large, interconnected maps full of monsters, treasure chests, and resources to harvest. These environments are big, so naturally you're going to want to get around as fast as possible. To do this, you can tap square to perform a strange sprint move that dashes forward for a second or so. You're basically going to be spamming this button as much as possible, and this both looks and feels strange. The Star Ocean series is also notorious for its backtracking, and while there's certainly a fair share in The Last Hope, there is some fast travel options later in the game. This was a welcomed addition, as there is always a reason to return to towns, planets, and dungeons multiple times. Speaking of dungeons, they can be long, often with a clear lack of save points. I am way too old to be stressing about finding a save point. These dungeons also feature some kind of puzzle or gimmick which were never really difficult to solve. If there is one area where the previous Star Ocean games fell short, it was with the battle systems. Star Ocean 4's combat fits somewhere between the simplicity of the first two and the complexity of the third, and I can easily say that it is my favourite in the series. You control one character at a time, but can switch between all 4 party members on the fly. The combos from Star Ocean 3 make a return, allowing you to string multiple battle skills together for increased damage. Some skills combine together more effectively than others, so there is quite a lot of experimentation to be done here. A big new feature of this combat is the blindside mechanic. If you hold the circle button, you can time a dodge by hitting a direction, allowing you to counter for massive damage. The thing is, you can't hold circle forever, so you'll still need to get into position and time your dodge to some extent. The other new addition is Rush Mode. Your rush gauge will increase through attacking an enemy, being attacked, or holding the circle button. When Rush Mode is activated, you become more effective in battle for a short period of time. You can also enter a chain combo sequence which allows you to inflict massive damage through performing some easy button prompts. This combat feels really good, with my only real issue being that changing targets is still a bitch. That, and I did feel that some boss battles could have been much better designed. Some boss fights present an incredibly small window to deal damage. I'm talking seconds, with all damage outside this window being minimal. This causes some boss fights to go on for much longer than I would have liked. The final boss also presented a huge difficulty spike, but I really liked this as it encouraged me to go back, reevaluate my party composition, and make the most of the RPG mechanics. Speaking of which, these growth mechanics are pretty solid. Characters obtain individual SP through leveling up and party SP through other means such as opening chests. This SP can be spent on a wide range of skills, including field skills which relates to harvesting or item creation, symbols which power up your spells, special arts which increase the effectiveness of combat abilities, and battle skills which can be upgraded to raise stats and other passive buffs. There are loads of skills to learn and find around the world, meaning that there is always something to strive towards. This, along with item creation, which we'll talk about later, provides a load of different ways to build your characters. Star Ocean 4 also makes some changes to the series' battle bonuses. This battle board system is great and provides various bonuses based on how many gems you fill up on the board. For instance, if you defeat an enemy with a critical hit, you will receive a blue gem that provides EXP plus 10%. Do this 15 times and your bonus will be EXP plus 150%. But you will need to be extra careful when carrying these bonuses, because if you get hit with a critical, you will lose a portion of your gems. Strategically building up your battle bonuses by meeting certain conditions is a lot of fun and gives you a little extra something to think about when working through dungeons or grinding. One of the staples of the Star Ocean series is item creation. There have always been some good ideas here, but up until now they've all been so guide dependent, and I really did not like this. Basically, you can invent recipes by selecting different combinations of characters. Certain recipes can only be invented if a character has a certain skill level with a discipline, such as alchemy. Once an item has been invented, you can create it at any time, provided you have the necessary materials. But there is still some room for improvement here. One is that it is very difficult to get everything you need to invent most items. There is so much to create, and this is good, but many items are very hard to come by, requiring lots of running around, grinding and gathering within the fields. Some materials that you don't have can actually be created, but this will require you to manually go through all of the different creation menus to find. A simple shortcut to quickly craft the required item is a quality of life feature that this system needs. For those of you who loved customizing equipment with different factors in previous games, you will be happy to know that a similar yet simpler system is present here. You can still go all out and create some amazing custom weapons, armor and accessories, which is important for the higher difficulties unlocked once you complete the game. There really is quite a lot to do in Star Ocean 4, but this isn't necessarily a good thing. To start with, each shop will present you with a series of item requests, but these are just pointless as the required items are also needed for crafting, plus you're only given insignificant amounts of cash for a reward. The side quests aren't much better. These can be initiated by talking to NPCs, so if you want to do them all, you'll have to talk to everyone. While the reward for completing some of these can be decent, I was never motivated enough to do all of the backtracking and grinding required. But this is where it gets ridiculous. If you want to 100% the game, you would have to be a certified psychopath. Collecting 100% monster data requires you to kill the same enemy multiple times. In doing so, you can convert this data into a jewel that can be equipped to your characters. Unfortunately, most of these accessories are rather useless, but it's not like I was ever motivated to do this, since killing some enemies will only add 1% to your data total. Yes, this means that you may need to kill a single enemy 100 times to get its useless jewel. But things get worse when we're talking battle trophies. There are 900 of these that can be achieved through meeting certain goals in battle. Some of these are simple, such as defeating a poisoned enemy. Easy, right? But others are suited only to a certain kind of person, such as killing 30,000 enemies with edge. Are you that kind of person? If you're not quite that insane but still want some extracurricular activities, well, in true Star Ocean style, there is quite a lot of post-game content to sink your teeth into, such as the optional dungeons. Much like the rest of the series, Star Ocean 4 has its fair share of highs and lows. Yet, I would say that it is the most well-rounded experience, making it my favourite in the series. I really liked the change of conventional pace in that there is loads of different planets to explore from the start, as opposed to the majority of the game taking place on a single planet. I also found the combat to easily be the best in the series. It was a load of fun throughout the entire journey. The RPG mechanics also deserves a thumbs up and provides loads of different ways to build your party. In true Star Ocean style, there is also a lot to do, but some of this is just unnecessarily time consuming. But Star Ocean 4's biggest issue is its writing. The tropey characters and generic story are done no favours by the poor dialogue and certain voice direction, making the story feel like a chore at times. If they had managed to nail this part of the game as the previous games had done in the past, I have a feeling that Star Ocean 4 The Last Hope would have been a much more popular favourite. What did you think of Star Ocean 4 The Last Hope? Is it your favourite in the series? Let me know in the comments below. This was Hellfire RPGs. Thanks for watching. 4 down, 1 to go. Then I will be ready to take on Star Ocean 6 The Divine Force later in the year. If you liked this review, make sure you hit that like button and sub for more Star Ocean and RPG videos coming soon. See you next time.